Are you a talented footballer with the potential to go all of the way, but you've never been spotted or had a trial? Well, all you need to do is check out a brand new innovative business that I've started with my partners called Scout Size. It gives you a chance to get spotted by our network of scouts to try and get you a trial at a professional club. Scout Size places you in front of a professional scout who will assess your talent. You simply need to visit our website right now and upload your clips as directed. Our scouts will then view them and give you a full assessment. If you meet a certain criteria, your details will be sent to scouts at professional football clubs for them to come and see you play. It's as simple as that. So visit scoutsize.com right now and send in your clips, and a scout could be coming to watch you play at your next game. AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players will be linked with a transfer move to Arsenal. Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that will be linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Don't forget to use the code SE50 for Scout Size to claim your 50% discount. And also, by the way, yesterday, the Club World Cup, interesting. All the naysayers at the start of it, you know, remember when Auckland City got destroyed by Bayern Munich and people saying, oh, this is a waste of time, the European clubs are going to dominate. Manchester City knocked out yesterday by Al Hilal of Saudi Arabia. And Saudi, you know, that Al Hilal, good side. I was with a fan of theirs on Sunday, and he was saying to me he thinks that they can beat Man City, and they did. And it just shows you that the Saudi football is on the rise. I was over there. They're buying younger players now, and you know, that was a big statement win for them. Inter as well, knocked out by Fluminense yesterday. Watch that game, good game. Just goes to show, you know, that, you know, the football doesn't just exist in Europe. It exists beyond as well. So really interested in that tournament. Of course, today is July the 1st. Significant day when it comes to the transfer window, because a lot of teams wouldn't have wanted to go spending big before the end of June, because it's still sort of in last year's financial year. If you're a football club, June the 1st is like your new accounting year. So you'll see a lot of transfer activity start to kick off now. With Arsenal, you're going to see a lot of signings being announced this week. I said it on yesterday's show. You'll probably hear about Norgard. You'll hear about Zubimendi and Kepa. Kepa apparently has been training at Arsenal already. So these announcements should be made this week. And also a lot of players returning to full training at their clubs, including Arsenal. Now, you know, the managers of and staff and players have all had their holidays. A lot of their attention now is going to start turning to getting prepared for the new season. And Arsenal will want to get those new signings in before, or the bulk of those new signings in, before they go on that pre-season tour, which the first game is on the 23rd of July. That's this month. So expect to see, you know, not just those players come in, and also Mosquera as well, who we know about, Arsenal are putting another bid for, but also at least one of their big targets for the summer. One of the strike, you know, probably going to be that striker, whether it be Gyökeres, whether it be Sesko, and maybe even someone else. Could it be Eberechi Eze? Big talks about him yesterday and continuing today. Fabrizio Romano reported yesterday that Arsenal held a meeting with Eze's agents over the weekend. He said that it was a very important meeting, and in that meeting, they discussed all the terms around the player, what it would take for him to come, what wages he'd want, etc., etc. They also got a real understanding around his release clause, which is said to be around about £68 million. You know, what are the ins and outs of that? This is the things you can do during the transfer window. You can openly discuss all these things. And they are very, very interested in signing Eze. And Eze is said to be open to a move to Arsenal. We know that Spurs have been interested, but they've not really made any moves for him for now. But Eze open to a move to Arsenal. David Ornstein also reporting today that Eze is amongst one of the top targets for Arsenal. They're also looking at Anthony Gordon, they're looking at Morgan Rogers, but Eze is a target. And quite significantly, it looks as if that, because Eze we know can play on the left wing, but he can also play in that sort of attacking midfield position as well. But quite interestingly, if you look at sort of what David Ornstein and the guys are saying on The Athletic, it's like he's not really just going to be, just for that left wing position. He could be coming in as well as a left winger, which is very interesting. So, could it be that they sign Eze and then still go and get a left winger? It'd probably mean that they'd have to sell one of the existing left wingers. So that would probably mean, either Martinelli or Trossard would possibly go. But very, very interesting that it could be Eze plus, another signing on that left wing. And of course, could that be Rodrygo? I think that's the one that a lot of people would like to see. I mean, if you get Eze and Rodrygo and a striker, then it's starting to look like a fantastic window. Rodrygo is still high on Arsenal's list. They would still love to bring him in. Real Madrid playing Juventus tonight in the Club World Cup. Very interesting again. Rodrygo set to be on the bench again, according to the reports that are coming out of Spain. What is going to happen to him come the end of the Club World Cup? Because I don't think he started a game of this Club World Cup. He didn't even get on the pitch in the last game. Gonna be very interesting to see what happens with Rodrygo come the end of the Club World Cup. But again, him being linked very strongly with a move to Arsenal. Arsenal also said to be interested in Pepê. Now, Pepê, 28 years old, Brazilian, plays for Porto. Not the Pepê that retired. It wouldn't surprise me at Arsenal, right? But that's the Pepê. He's a winger, versatile winger, can play on both flanks. Predominantly a right winger, but can operate on both flanks. Now, according to the Portuguese paper, The Record, they claim that Arsenal are interested in the winger. They state that Arsenal have made exploratory contacts with Porto to understand the conditions that would take for a potential, for a potential deal. Said that Arsenal would prefer a loan move, but Porto, if they are to entertain an offer, will only want to sell Pepê. So one to watch. I'm not too sure how strong this one is, but being recorded by the Portuguese publication, The Record. And on players from Porto, what's going to happen with Fábio Vieira? Now that it's the 1st of July, his loan move to Porto has ended. So he's going to be returning back to Arsenal, returning back to full training with Arsenal as well after his loan spell. A decent loan spell as well at Porto. He did okay. It's a bit of a slow start, but he grew into that loan move. And there's reports that Porto would like to sign him. The problem is they can't afford him. They just can't afford his fee. They can't afford his wages right now. So he's definitely coming back to Arsenal. But what is going to happen with Fábio Vieira? Will Arsenal keep him? Remember, they paid a decent amount of money for him when they signed him. It just hasn't worked out for him. Or will he be, sold this summer? And if they did sell him, surely they take a significant loss. They paid over £30 million for him. I'd say, at present, he'd be valued at, maybe just a little bit over half of that. He's really not lit it up at all since joining Arsenal. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with him. He'll definitely go, I guess, on pre-season, and they want to get him up to speed and maybe take another look at him and see if he could be a player that could figure for next season. But Fábio Vieira, future up in the air a bit, and surely will be decided after that pre-season over in Asia. So those are the transfer rumours for today. Don't forget to keep it locked here on AFTV to get information on any transfers. Of course, as I said, looks like there'll be some announcements coming up this week. So look out for our announcement videos on some of those players. Thanks for watching the show, and I'll be back tomorrow. Hi, we've teamed up with UK auto claims to see if you could be eligible to score thousands in compensation. If you've had any cars, vans or motorbikes on finance between 2007 and 2021, go to ukautoclaims.co.uk to start your free simple check. Loads of you will have overpaid and payouts could be worth thousands, so you've got to look into it. Hit up the link below and check now for free.